Hi everyone and welcome back to the course for our amazing YouTube subscribers, alright? And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this because you're gonna get so much valuable information. And in today's episode, we are gonna talk about how much money should you save on a monthly basis. All right, and of course, the more the better. Now, there are a few things I would say. So we talked about last week how much money that you should, in one of the other episodes, how much money you should start with, how much money you could start with. And with cryptos, you can really start with as much or as little money as you want because all fees are a percentage, right? Which is amazing. But obviously, the more you have, the more money you can make. Now, how much money should you invest every month then? And you might say, well, Dennis, that's great, but I already have a problem. I don't have enough money. I don't have any money. I have too much month at the end of the money, right? So you don't have any more money. And that could be a problem, but we need to be creative here. And we're going to go into some creative solutions. Now, I have some examples here. I have a family member, for example, with 7 siblings, which is kind of a lot, I think. But one of my brothers, he has, it's quite interesting, right? He never has enough money, but then we went through, okay, what are you spending it on? So we saw like coffee, clothes, and some of it he didn't even know, some, restaurants visits. He bought like workout gear and, all of these things, are they necessary though? I think it's just so important that you do pay yourself first, which means that you take money that's coming in and you put it into the future you, right? Which means potentially saving and then investing. And we're going to look at a few examples here. But first and foremost, I think we should head over here to the flip chart, all right? Because, look at this is quite interesting. So how much money could you save each month? Could you save 100, 150, 200? Or maybe less, right? But the most important part is to start. So what if you could save £50 per month? How about 100? How about 150? How about 200, right? And how can we come up with some creative solutions? I would love to hear from you. Make sure you comment below and comment what creative solutions could you make happen in order to save more money each month, in order to have money to invest in the future you, or even for your kids, right? So some solutions could be, right, you could sell, right? You could sell stuff you have at home, furniture you don't need. Maybe the kids don't need to eat as much. I don't know, but you could do something like that. Another option, get a part-time job, work 1 weekend a month, and that will give you maybe an extra £100, maybe an extra £150 a month. That's another solution. Maybe look at your expenses. How much money are you spending and what are you spending it on? The equation is quite simple, really. You need to spend less than you earn and then invest the difference. So there's 2 parts of this, all right? 2 parts. And those are, you need to have a strategy so you can compound your money. Which we will speak about. Einstein called it one of the wonders of the world. All right. And if you like what you're seeing so far, if you're interested in this, make sure you subscribe so you get all of the future videos as well. So now we're going to take a look at, because you might say, well, how much of a difference could £50 a month make? Now, with cryptos, it's quite interesting because like £100 investment in some instances could have turned to 100,000. Now, I bet you would be quite interested in that. So, and it's kind of unique. I've never seen that in stocks before, anything like it. But let's head over now to the screen because I would love to show you here how compounding works. So if you head over to investment-mastery.com/compounding, it's going to give you this amazing calculation sheet where we can see how compounding really works. So in the top level here, we're going to see you can start with 2,000. Right, so we spoke about that last time. It could be less, could be more, but let's start with 2,000. I think that's a good amount. And then we're going to make 3% per month. With some strategies, you can make more, and especially in a bull market with cryptos, you can make a lot more. But as a start, 3% a month, all right? And we're not going to add anything extra. And this is just additional if you want to add a lump sum, but we're not going to add anything extra at the moment. So if I now scroll down, you see if you make 3% a month and you have 2,000 to invest, at the end of year 15, you understand, right? So 3%, 3%, 3%, 3%, it's always 3% on the next amount each time, which is incredible. So you would have 409,000 extra outside everything else you're doing after year 15. That's not bad. It's pretty good based on an investment of £2,000. That's it. All right, but now let's go into the exciting part. So what if you could get a part-time job and make, like, you work 4 hours extra 1 weekend a month, and I will give you £50, right? Maybe. And let's try to calculate this and see what happens. 1, 2, 3, and boom! Those 400 turned to 738,000. Not bad. An extra 200,000 or 300,000 even, almost, but 200,000, 250,000-ish pounds extra for £50 a month. So if you are thinking here, does it make a difference to add 50 a month? Yes, it will. Over a longer time. This is compounding. This is amazing. As long as you keep making the returns. All right, so what if we now, let's make this a bit more interesting. What if we add 100? I'm not going to do anything impossible. What if we do 100, shall we? So 1, 2, 3, boom. Look at this. If you add 100, instead of 400,000, instead of 738,000, you would have over £1 million at the end of year 15. And if you want to speed it up, there's 2 ways you can do that. Number 1, you could learn a strategy that makes you more money. Number 2, you could start with a bigger amount. Or number 3, you could even put more money in each month as well. So really there's 3 ways. But look, how many of you would like that? You invest 2,000 initially, you spend £100 a month, and the future you could retire. Or after, imagine if you're 7 years old and start with this. And when you're 30, you're going to have an additional £1 million outside everything else you're doing. This is not a full-time job. This is 20 minutes a day when you learn the strategies, which we will cover later on in the course. All right? So I really hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope you understand compounding and what an extra £100 per month can do. And not least, how you can make it happen so you can maybe even save £200 a month. Make sure you pay yourself first. Very, very important. And I would love to hear from you. Please write below what creative ideas you could have to save more money each month. And actually, there is one last thing I would like to share with you, just to give you a little bit of inspiration here. Because if we go over to the Bitcoin chart, right? I want to leave you with this. If you go to the Bitcoin chart and you would start at the end of 2017, Bitcoin was at 20,000, right? Let's just end with this because this is quite incredible to see. So Bitcoin was at 20,000, so 20,000. And look, 2 years later, it went down all the way to 3,000 or around 4,000, right? So it fell down, right, to 4,000. That's a big drop. So imagine this. If we go back to the chart here, if you would have invested every month, you would say, oh, my money, I'm just losing money here. And then you can see now it becomes interesting. A few years later, every month, boom, Bitcoin is now around $50,000. Isn't that incredible? And imagine what compounding would do for you then. So from 4,000, well over 20,000, up to 40,000. Look, no one does this. With cryptos, it is really possible. And we believe that with some cryptos, you can make thousands of percent. In 2017, someone turned $100 into a couple of 100,000. That's pretty cool, isn't it? So look, once again, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you understand compounding now. And look, when is the best time to start? That is now, like Tony Robbins says. So make sure you do start. And if you like this video, make sure you subscribe. Press the subscribe button, comment below. When are you going to get started? Right now, if the time is now as well. All right? And I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video.